Hey everybody, lovely bit of nature before that wind and rain kicks back in. I thought I'd talk about acceptance, and there's different types of acceptance and different ways of accepting life and where you're at. And there's something about letting go of the resistance to accepting life as it is. So often we can't accept things in life because life hasn't turned out how we want it to be, or how we think it should be, or how we'd prefer it to be, or it should have been a different way, and we battle. We cannot accept it as it is. When we start working with life with regard to accepting life as it comes and letting go of the expectation of how we personally felt it should be, you can bring in the soulful aspect of that, of how about the universe's redirection is your own protection. So even though you believe that life should have gone a certain way, when it didn't, maybe it was because there was stuff up ahead that you couldn't see and you were being protected against. I mean, there's awful things that can happen to us too, and we think, well, why did we have to go through that? And that's really hard. It's hard to come to terms with deep trauma that's been done to us, that we've been exposed to. But again, it is, can I accept how life has been rather than how I hoped it would have been? And that way we start to shift from suffering into healing. And there is a difference. And often we have to revisit this aspect again and again and again and again before we can get okay with it. And that might be lifelong. Every now and again we might think, I'm getting further with my healing, I'm not suffering anymore because I'm going with what has already occurred, rather than holding the grudge, holding the unforgiveness, holding the resentment, holding the bitterness, which is only hurting you, nobody else, and nothing else. It's hurting you. And it really does come to, how long do I want to hold on to that, regardless of what I've been through? So we revisit it and we revisit it and we revisit it. We get better with it. And then a few years later, it might feel like it's come back up again. And that's often because in that level of conscious awareness that we were in, we were not able to access that level of depth we need to get to be able to fully let it go. We live that for a few years, and then we become more self-aware, more conscious of what's going on, more healing's been done, and then we go back to the wound and go, right, there's another layer here. We're coming full circle, we're coming back to the same thing, but with greater clarity, greater courage, greater wisdom, which comes with time and experience. Life does happen to us. Sometimes it's for us. It doesn't always feel that way. How do we get good with that? Acceptance equals not suffering anymore. When we are suffering, it's because we cannot come to terms with something. So how do we get as good as possible with it? So basically the impact of it is far less on us. Our triggers reduce, our ability to carry on our life improves, and we're not living in the past like we were. Have a lovely weekend, everybody.